American Swahili News and Swahiliville Online TV. Today is March 20.
I think today is the 28th.
28. And I do have one of my best students, and I had an opportunity to identify her in my classroom, and then she's going to introducing herself, and her name is, first, welcome to a show.
Thank you for having me on. I know you've talked a lot about your show, and I'm so excited to finally be here with your audience. Everyone, my name is Ashley Listrom. I'm a student here at the University of South Carolina, and I'm majoring in broadcast journalism, and my minor is business admin. So that brings me to your class.
Okay, very, very good. Let me start it with my first question, Ashley.
All right.
Where are you from?
Okay, so I'm actually local, so I'm right here from Columbia.
Right there. When you say when you say local, what do you mean? Okay, go ahead.
Right here in Columbia, South Carolina. I was actually born in Florence, South Carolina, a little bit of the upstate, but I've been raised here in Columbia.
Florence is the county.
Oh,
one of the county.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, one of the state of South Carolina county. So we want to make our listeners to understanding exactly where we're heading. They might confuse with a Florence in Italy.
I wish. Not far.
So last night, did you follow up the ladies' Gamecock first of?
I have had a really busy schedule between work and homework, so unfortunately I wasn't able to follow all along, but of course I know how well they're doing and cheering them on from the sidelines. Of course I was liking all their posts and seeing the stats on Twitter, but I wasn't following it per se, play by play, while watching.
Let me first, I'm not gonna do it right by not saying congratulations to the Lady Gamecocks. They qualified to the NCAA tournament final slots on I think this coming Friday in Dallas, Texas. So Don Staley again, she will representing us, the Gamecock, in Dallas this coming Friday. I think they're going to meet the University of Iowa. It's a very good team. Okay, let's move forward now with our conversations while we're here. And you telling us, you just shared with us a few minutes ago that you major in communications. So where do you see yourself, Ashley, in 5 years from now?
What a great question. So I am majoring in broadcast journalism in the communications school, and I am currently wanting to be an MMJ, which is a multimedia journalist. So they're who you see every day when you watch the news. They're the direct reporters. But my eventual goal, I have two. I would like to be an anchor eventually, so maybe I could make that happen in 5 years. But I also would like to be a public affairs officer in the Air Force.
Wow.
So my idea is that I'll start my contract as an MMJ now, while also starting my application to officer candidate school in the Air Force.
Okay, anchor. Most of our listeners, they're from East Africa, like Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, and DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo. And some of them, they're in Europe, New Zealand, Australia, United Kingdoms. But some of them, they pretty much understanding what is an anchor. Talks a little bit about an anchor.
Sure.
Give us an example.
All right. So an anchor, they anchor the show. They're, if you think of like an anchor on a ship, they hold the show down. Whenever you tune into the news, wherever you may be, whoever is at that desk, they're the anchor. And you can have multiple anchors. You could have a sports anchor. They'll cover sports. You could have your regular anchor or multiple at the desk. And then, so they hold down the phone.
Okay, so let's move forward now. You have mentioned that you pretty much want to enter into the, let's say, MJJ in military. and what really drives you to be a military reporter, or talks a little bit about that?
Yeah, I know it's such an interesting area, but as a child, I was involved in the Civil Air Patrol. They're a volunteer organization, and they work directly with the community. And it's similar to an ROTC style, but I actually got so many opportunities within the program. I was able to be a public affairs officer for one of their week-long training courses, and then I also got the opportunity to shadow a public affairs officer out at Shaw Air Force Base. For those of you who aren't from here, Shaw is one of our main military bases in South Carolina, and she let me follow her along, and I was just fascinated the whole time, the idea of serving my community while also fulfilling my role of what I've gone to school for as a journalist. Yeah, it came together, and I really, it's a great.
Okay, before you came here to the show, I think this was like a week ago, we went over some of your projects, and it was very, very interesting. Can you just talk about a little bit one of those two projects and it means to you as a career journalist?
Absolutely. So at the University of South Carolina, we are the only school that does this program called Senior Semester. That's unique to us. And within that program, we are working Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and we actually produce a show every day. So every day, while the semester's in, you can tune in and you can see what we're working on. But that Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, actually counts as all of our course credits for that semester. And I got the opportunity to go out to Shaw Air Force Base for one of my stories, well, not Shaw, Fort Jackson, excuse me, Fort Jackson for one of my stories, and I got to film, it's called the Night Infiltration Course, or NIC course, and it was so cool. For those of you who aren't familiar with it, it's when soldiers climb under live fire, and it's about the length of a football field, and it's one of their last training exercises they do before they graduate basic training. But it's super high speed, a lot of gunshots, explosions, soldiers crawling, the morale was there, so it was very visually interesting to see.
Wow. And what about the next project again that I think was involved with the Daily Farm?
Yes.
Go ahead and just share with us that.
Inflation is affecting everyone right now, and I also got to cover a local dairy farm and how inflation is really impacting their business, and that was one of my most touching stories, to go and see a small farm and how they're dealing with the price increases. But I got to go out, spend the day with the cows. They got to milk their cows, and I got to talk with just local people and their everyday, what is for them their everyday life and how it's impacted.
Okay, I know you have a very busy schedule. I don't want to hold you that long with this interview. Every guest who comes to a show, we ask them one word. What is your last word?
Oh, good question. Is it last words or just one word?
No, you can just give us an explanation about, what is your last word, with respect to all of these conversations.
This whole conversation? There's a lot of words in the dictionary, but I would say I'm grateful. I'm grateful for this opportunity to be at the University of South Carolina. I'm grateful for all of my experiences here. And of course, I'm grateful to have joined you on your show today. So thank you all for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome again to come back next time when we saw you on the big screen or cable news. Please welcome to American Swahili News and Swahiliville Online TV show. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're
welcome.
You're welcome.
Let's go!